It's the Flow Friday Night Sports Show, and let's talk Hume Netball now with the crew there in Hume Netball getting to put their feet up this weekend. But plenty of matches to talk about from last weekend, and Carla from Hume Netball joins us on the line to help us go through them. How are you, Carla?
Good, thanks, Jason. How are you?
Well, thank you. Worth pointing out off the top that, yes, you've got a scheduled bye week. This is not in relation to COVID or any of that sort of stuff. This was already in the program, so you're having the week off, right?
Yes, looking forward to a week off, and it's probably a very timely week off.
I would imagine so. There'd be some sore bodies too, but on top of that, as you say, bit of stuff going on at the moment, so probably best to have the week off anyway. Let's have a look at what happened last weekend, and we will start with CDHBU, who hosted the Billabong Crows, and it was the Crow girls who were way too strong in the end, 65-21.
Yeah, the Crows girls knew they had to come out firing and hopefully redeem themselves from their loss last week, and they had a great 40-plus win over CDHBU. They kept lifting every quarter, and their fitness is proving valuable in the last half of their games. They put some great defensive pressure and hunger for the ball, saw Britt Deegan and Brooke Davies both have great games, and Paige Maloney also adding lots of depth to her drives into attack. So, yeah, they had a great comeback win for the Crows.
Well done to them. The Osborne crew just keep on keeping on these canola farmers. They don't know how to stop winning, whether it's football or netball, and they had a massive win, as you would expect when it's top versus bottom. They beat Colcan 95-18.
Yeah, I think that's the biggest score we've seen this year from any one of the teams in any grade. They started really strong with a massive 30-goal first quarter for Osborne, and Abby and Georgia O'Connell charged down the court for the whole game, and their defensive pressure in the mid-court and their feeding into the circle earned them both awards for the day. And once again, Karen Hugo and Lucy Bennett proved really strong in the circle, and Sarah Schneider and Rachel Galvin held tight across the defence end for Osborne, and Coach Sally Hunter was really stoked with the girls' effort throughout the whole game.
As she should be. So, big winners there. Holbrook and Henty, let's have a look at this game where Holbrook now put themselves in with a chance of playing finals netball still. They had a good win, 58 to Henty 35.
Yeah, great result for Holbrook with their win against Henty, and as you said, it is keeping them still in the hunt for finals. They have a tough few games coming up on the home run, but they're looking to keep in some good form for the last 7 games. And Henty were really quite pleased with their game this week, and they're really looking forward to a bye, resting a few players and hopefully getting some injured players back on the court.
Yes, they'll certainly need that. Now we go to 3 games where there wasn't much between the two sides. First of all, we picked this as match of the round. Gindera taking on Howlong, and it lived up to the billing. It was only 8 goals in it at the end of the day, and it was Gindera too good, 44 to Howlong 36.
Yeah, Howlong were hoping to get a win over one of the teams above them and start moving up the ladder, but the Gindera girls just had a really solid first half. Even though their Charlotte Sutcliffe, their shooter, was absent for the game. But unfortunately for Howlong, Gindera was just too strong playing a full solid game of netball. Awards for Howlong went to Jamie Dove in goalkeeper and Abelishki in goal defence, and Sam Creasy and Taylor Vogel took home the awards for Gindera. And also just a big congratulations to one of Gindera's players, Lucinda Morgan, who played her 250th A-grade game on the weekend. So that's a massive, huge effort for Lucinda.
Absolutely. A lot of games that, so hopefully a few more to come for her as well. We move on to another top 6 clash between Lockhart and Randall-Bundry Waller. This was the closest match of the round in the end, and it was Lockhart getting the job done. 48 goals to 43 in a really good game.
Yeah, this was another great game to watch, and Lockhart coming out on top, winning just by 5 goals. Lockhart won the first quarter and the Giants won the second, and there was just only a goal difference at half-time. Then the rain came down in the third quarter, and Lockhart seemed to handle the wet weather a bit better than the Giants. Young goal shooter Ruby Buffler shot extremely well in the wet, putting Lockhart ahead by about 8 goals going into the last quarter. And the Giants finished strong in the final quarter, but they just ran out of time. Brianna Higgins for the Giants won the mug. She had a really tough game against Lockhart's tall shooter in Olivia Lang, and Alicia Liskey also played another strong game in the centre court. And two mid-court players for Lockhart, Beck Matthews and Jade Maniscalco, they took home the awards for Lockhart.
Excellent work. All right. Last match of the round was a close one as well, and at Lamington it was. The Murray Magpies, it was a must-win game for them, and they did exactly what they needed to do. They beat Brock-Burham 41-35.
Yeah, that was a pretty tight game, as there was only one or two goals in it for most of the game. And with a few players away for the Maggies, they had a good 6-goal win in the end against the Saints. And it was really good for them to take on the challenge without having their full team. So well done to the Magpies.
Yes, indeed. And that leads us to the ladder at the break, round 11. Now, I believe how many rounds in the season do you guys actually have there at Hume?
18.
18 games. So we are 11 games deep into the season. So after this bye week, we've got 7 more to go. And let's have a look at the ladder now. Osborne 11-0. So they're top of the ladder at the moment, flying. They're not only going to play finals netball, they'll probably finish top 2. Then we've got ourselves a bit of a logjam in between 2nd and 4th, haven't we, Carla?
All tied on the same points. It's just percentage. So I'm sure those 3 teams will be looking to boost their wins and get as many goals as they can over the next few games.
That's right. That's Gindera, the Billabong Crows and Lockhart in that order, 2nd, 3rd and 4th on the ladder. How long back in 5th? Now, they're in a good spot in terms of making the top 6 and playing finals netball. It's going to be tough for them probably to shoot up the ladder and grab the double chance now, though, you'd think.
Yeah, I think so, but they'll keep plodding away, and I'm sure they'll stay in the top 6. But, yeah, the 6th spot will be the interesting. Yeah.
That's right. There is probably from 6th down to 10th, probably still a chance, you'd say. So, obviously, Randwill, Bundry, Waller in the box seat at the moment. They're 5 wins a game and plenty of percentage clear to what comes next. So, they're currently the holders of 6th spot on the ladder. Then we go down to 7, 8 and 9, who are all tied on points. That is the Murray Magpies, Holbrook and Brock-Burham. Now, out of those 3, Carla, which one do you think is most likely to challenge for that 6th spot?
I'd say Randwill Bundry will go in there, but I think maybe Magpies.
Yeah, if they get it together, you're right. Well, they're closest in terms of percentage at least. So, they probably are the ones, aren't they?
Yeah, just depending on who they've got to come up against, because it's not just an even.
That's right.
Matches, are not.
It's all about the draw, and we'll check that next week as to who's got who on the way home. In 10th spot, CDHBU, they are 3 wins, so they're 2 games and a heap of percentage behind Randwill, Bundry, Waller. They'd probably need a miracle in 7 games to make that all up, you'd think?
I think so, and they face Lockhart in the next game, so they're going to have to win most of their games to get back up in there.
Yep. Henty just the 1 win in 11th spot, and Colcan bottom of the ladder without a win yet from 11 games. Do you think Colcan can find a win at any stage?
Oh, look, it'll be great for the girls to have a win. I'm sure they're trying really hard, and depending on who they're coming up in the next few weeks, I'm sure they'll be working hard to get a win.
No doubt. Carla, we'll leave it there for this week. Enjoy the weekend off. Next week when we catch up, we'll have matches to preview ahead of round 12. But put the feet up this weekend and stay nice and warm.
I will. Thanks, Jason.